Warm greetings. Welcome to Wednesdays for Water. We are a citizens collective aiming to walk and talk water. We try to meet every week and connect people with various water worries and wisdoms. And in the process, we wish to curate future water warriors. The way we talk about trivial things for hours, water too needs walking and talking to address the rising water distresses. The way Wednesdays for Water is conceptualized as a prime time show, it wishes to make water everybody's business. The idea of the series was conceptualized in August 2020, and by the end of the year, the team and the structure was pretty much in shape. We started in April 2021 with Dr. Rajendra Singh's inaugural speech. We wish to bring science and society together, and therefore we try to bring in every session either a policymaker or practitioner and a researcher or academician. We also think that future generation is crucial and therefore they have presence in each session. We are going stronger with every week now with session on either quiz, couple of weeks of hard talks and a week of soft session of art and music. There is a simple structure for each session of quiz, hard session and soft session which are moderated by the core team member. Here is a glimpse of what we call as hard sessions and soft sessions.
He has been associated with different organizations like Bihar State Disaster Management Authority, Oxfam, and also played a very big role in setting up the Center for River Studies in Aryabhatta Knowledge Universities, which is one of the professional universities in Bihar, located in Patna. We have Swamiji, Swami Shivanand Saraswati from Matri Darshan. Those of you who have been associated or who have been following of river conservation issues, or particularly the Ganga, Swami Shivanand Saraswati doesn't need any introduction, or Matri Shodhan for that matter doesn't need any introduction. Like we all know how Sant Swami Gyanswarup Sanand, who was known as Professor G.D. Agarwal in academic circles, have the kind of role they played in Ganga, the discussions and everything around Ganga cleaning. And we have with us Mr. Aniket Shaw, who is a master student at Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Hyderabad campus, who is the discussant for the session today. Yes, am I okay? Yeah. So now with all this, like maybe if like all our is Dr. Nivedita here already?
I don't see her, Bibhu, so you may start with Swamiji or Anand.
We are getting a message from okay, that Dr. Nivedita has some technical issues, so she will join. Okay, so the way we planned is we got many interesting questions from our participants through our registration link. So before we move to that kind of discussion, we would like to request our panelists, all our panelists, to speak on like certain issues which have been quite intriguing for many of us. Like if I recall around this time last year, in last week of April and past 2 weeks of May, we used to be getting this news that how our rivers are looking cleaner, and like people were sharing the pictures of Yamuna, different places in Ganga, and other environmental indicators as well, like in the newspapers, in social media, like see how things have improved. Exactly 1 year, like around the same time this year, same like last week of April and past, like maybe in this time, similar time, we get to see these heart-wrenching images of like human corpus floating like in some of these rivers, particularly Ganga. This is something which some of us some of our participants or some of us who are not associated with the river river conservation or the water issues or the pollution, for instance, in our like day-to-day conversations or like day-to-day interactions, like is something which we found bit intriguing, right? So like, I mean, similar situation where we are in the middle of a pandemic. In fact, the situations are very different this time than the last year, right? But when it comes to lockdown measures or like, I mean, the fear for the pandemic, we are almost in similar situation. But when it comes to our imagination of the rivers, we are getting very two different pictures. So I would like to request we'd like to hear from our panelists, what do they think about these specific situation. I would like to request Dr. Anand to speak first, and then I think when Dr. Nivedita comes, then we'll go to yeah, Dr. Anand, over to you, Dr. Anand.
Request all to please mute themselves except the speakers and Dr. Bibhu. We are hearing people talking in their house.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Bibhu. Thanks, Aniket, Asif, and thanks, Dr. Mansi Pal Bhargav, and Swami Shivanand Ji Maharaj from Haridwar, and all panelists, my friends on this. Let's start from the date 10th of May when this first thing came up. On 10th of May, a report came in newspaper that around 70 to 80 bodies were found in Ghazipur, Gamhar, Bihar border, floating on river Ganga. And from there, all the fuss started, all the reports began to came in. And later on, we learned that there are half-burnt bodies across the river Ganga, right from Kanpur to Patna. There were buried bodies inside the sand. There were bodies left in the river, on the river side. And this brought a big issues amongst us on the river pollution and how to save the rivers from this. This, of course, was due to what the people say was the exorbitant cost of performing last rites. The woods became very expensive for a common man, and they just started leaving the bodies.
Namaste, everyone.
Beside the river Ganges. Now the experts are of the opinion that primary transmission happens when people speak. It spreads through aerosol, airflow. It the COVID virus, it dilutes in water, and the effect or the after effects of keeping the water in the body, in the water bodies, dead bodies in the water is not that much high, or different opinions are coming up. But what we are here are concerned about the different flora and fauna of the rivers, except exclusively in Bihar, where two more mammals you will find here. One is the river dolphin, which has the population of about 2,500 to 3,000, right from Buxar to Bhagalpur. And again, another mammal is the gharials, which we have a population of around 1,000 to 1,500 in the river Ganges. So just because this virus spreads very fast, there are some reports that the virus is spreading amongst the lions, although they are contradictory reports. But if it affects the flora, the animals, the mammals inside the rivers, like the dolphins or the gharials, then it is a big matter of big concern for us. And we need to study that. We need to highlight this more effectively. Since the river mammals, if they are infected, there will be chain reaction, and other animal species that will be likewise, that will also be affected. So what we see that from Gangotri to Ganga Sagar, the extent of Ganges is around 2,500 to 3,000 kilometers. Now, in this stretch of 2,500 to 3,000 kilometers, more than 600 rivers join it from the northern end and few from the southern end. From the northern end, in UP and Bihar especially, we see that majority of the rivers are coming from Nepal as well. There is the river Ghagra is there, the major rivers Ghagra, the Naraini Gandak, the Bagmati, the Kamla Balan, the Mahananda, the Panar, the Mechi, all these rivers are coming from the Nepalese side. And what concerns me is that the reports are here in Bihar that the COVID situation in Nepal is more worse than in India. More deaths are taking place and more criminations are taking place from there. So what we fear that more bodies are expected in Ganges, right from the Nepalese end to the UP Bihar villages. So that is a part of concern, major concern. Apart from that, a major river comes from the southern end is the Son, and the districts around Son, of course, from Chitrakoot to Sasaram to some parts of Gaya district, they are also worse affected. So that makes it a big concern of the area or the population that it is catering. Apart from that, the way out that we must see for this is that we must look after the alternate source of crimination. Of late, people are using the cow dung in Bihar because the woods have become very expensive. They are using the local cow dung, the gobar, the local husk. It is acting as a very good fuel, and it is environment friendly as well. Again, in some parts of Gujarat and Indore and Surat area, the government has used LPG according to newspaper reports, and that is also very supportive in burning these bodies. Apart from that, there is an organization in Bengal. It is called Anand Marg. You must have heard about it. So, in majority of the responses, what Anand Marg does, that it has the volunteers, a group of volunteers who use chemicals. They have chemicals on their back. They spray it on the wherever they find dead bodies of human or animal. They spray it on there. Very minimal quantity of chemical is used, and it burns the body. It instigates the body in a very positive way, and the bodies are burnt. Apart from that, one more, the community forestry groups are there. The community forestry groups and community river alert groups are there in and around the villages of Ganga. In Bihar, we have mapped villages across the river Ganga on the northern side, on the southern side, and we have made village volunteers, the group of volunteers, and they are given dedicated training on disaster management, on flood rescue and all that. Apart from that, one of their training aspect is identification of the dead bodies. So these village volunteers can do wonders if they are paid a remuneration, or they can volunteer from their end so that they can identify the body and they can dispose of them off. Apart from that, of course, the government response is required, maybe it in the form of landscape governance, water governance, or the community-based disaster risk reduction groups that are trained on carcass management, so that support of there can be used. Apart from that, one major concern that comes in my mind is the two barrages which are there on the Ganga. One is on the Kanpur and another one is on the Farakka. In the north of Farakka, of course, the river Ganga divides into two parts. One part goes into Bangladesh and another Jangli river that goes into the Havra side, and it is known as Hooghly locally. So what happens, what is seen there is wherever you have barrages, the bodies, the trees, the animal carcasses, they begin to come there and they are stopped just because of barrier is there. So a dedicated governance group or one dedicated watch group must be there at the barrages so that they can watch the inflow of the bodies, or they can watch the inflow of animal carcasses so that they can be disposed of. So these are the way out on which we can contain this great problem that has just recently been cropped up. And apart from that, the last thing that I would like to highlight is the cross-border intergovernmental interference that we must coordinate amongst the neighbor nations. We must coordinate with the Nepalese government. We must coordinate with the Bangladesh government. We must coordinate with the Bhutanese government. The Mechi River is there, so that intergovernance communication can take place, and so that we can just alert our neighbors to stop this, because this might become a great endemic in the coming years, and this might affect the population in and around the rivers. So that was from my end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anand. It's really lots of information and also from information from the field. Very informative. In fact, some of our participants also has raised similar questions. I think some of these questions during your course of time you have addressed some of these. If we have Dr. Nivedita joined us, then maybe we can seek and.
Yeah, hi, Bibhu, I'm here. Yes. Hello.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, Dr. Nivedita.
I just wanted to know, I have shared my PPT, also short PPT, so that your participant will be very nice to, and I have made a schematic diagrams and all. Yes. I want to share. It will be actually audio visual will be good. That's what that is my intention. That won't take much time also. If you can share it, it is fine. Or else I will share from my screen, whatever you suggest.
Mansi, do you have the video with you? Are you sharing this?
No, I do not have it, but Nivedita has actually put it in the Terry email ID. Okay. So I will request Nivedita to just play it on from your end, because you are already in that section where you can play it. And I'm also trying to retrieve it. If Pooja is there or Jakpreet, if you can send it to me, I can also play.
Fine. Okay.
You can play it, Nivedita.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, is it there?
Yes, we can see this.
It is visible, na?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm putting in the presentation mode. Fine?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be talking about, good evening everybody, I'll be talking about impact of COVID-19 on river. Before I go on for the detailed presentations, I'll just speak few sentences. As we know, everybody know about this COVID-19. That is, we can say SARS-CoV-2 in water. So I'll just give a bit it was severe SARS means severe acute respiratory. Why it is coming out? Severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, that is SARS-CoV-2, which causes coronavirus disease COVID-19. It was first actually seen in December 19, but in India it was reported first in 30th January 2020 and in the state of Kerala. After that, it has been seen that everybody, it has taken drastically, it is rising and taken a pandemic situation. It is subsequently, it is actually growing day by day still now. And today we have reached to the second wave of the same. Now, we all know that this COVID-19 has impacted every segment of the life. It may be commercial, education, establishment, anything. Coming to other sector, the impact of it, especially in water, wastewater and other all associated sectors, the post effect of it actually in remaining unclear. And now today I'll be speaking this aerosol, whatever it has been heard that it is there as a micro droplets. Really, can it spread through water or not? Recently, we have also found some reports that we got it. There is plenty huge number of viral loads were found in wastewater discharge. So, which is also giving lot of threats, lot of questions in mind whether what will be in our, how will be and how we have to solve. And in this matter, in this journey, rivers actually, these are the prime and very important factor. Those are getting affected. Actually, these are the key source which are getting affected. And when river, it is coming to mind. River is in India. We say that it is a lifeline of the country. And this river in India, of course, we do everything we used to dump in that by discharging lot of waste bodies. So means pollution, if we talk about river pollution, is increasing day by day. Of course, we have lot of actions plans, lot of research and lot of work is going on, but still the pollution level is not controlling. So that is one biggest measure. And when it is coming to COVID-19 effect in river water, there were a lot of reports during the first wave. Because of sudden
We are not able to hear you.
hello?
Yes, now it's clear.
The sound actually I am getting, I don't know, from your side, I think. Suddenly one wave type of one sound came.
Yeah, I think now it's better. You can continue.
So because of this COVID-19, many industries in India, they were imposed to lockdown. There was a national-wide lockdown was imposed from March 22, 2020 to September 30, 2020. During this short span of time, it was found that river has got a positive effect in terms of pollution level. There was quite a drastic reduction in COD, BOD and other all physiochemical parameters were found, and water was reports were seen that water were crystalline clear. Coming to the recent situation, that is after this second wave, there was a news recently in this month of May. We heard that lot of dead bodies were found floating on. It was reported from Buxar, Bihar, and some reports were also found from UP. This has sparked the fears about the scale of COVID-19 crisis in our country. People were thinking maybe because of some people who have been succumbed to the virus, their relatives and all, they were finding that they didn't have space for the last ride. Some were, there are a lot of emotional things were going on in this time because of lack of money, lack of this monetary effect, lack of mentally, physically, so many things. Many people, and for ritual shake-up, like people says that if you float in that Bahado Ganga mein, to it will be punya milta. Like that also in that type of masses. So a lot of emotion is also concerned in this matter, but ultimately it is giving a load to water. So this again we are going back to the what in the short span of time we got that rejuvenations of river and also many things we are talking as a positive effect of COVID-19, that has again gone back to the back because of this second wave, and we don't know what will be the future things will be there. So this is a schematic diagram I will be showing to all audience in today's webinar. It is a generalized scheme where I have given how this aerosol, and actually it is showing, the slide will be enough. It is speaking you all things that how river are playing a significant role in this COVID-19 for spreading of this particular disease, and how a single person is getting affected to the increase, and through lot of course chains are there in between, through wastewater discharge and so many discharge. Ultimately the load is coming to the river, which is the lifeline of the country. So if rivers are getting affected, obviously so many things will be getting affected. That challenges we need to solve, whether the effect, we need to see the diversity, aquatic diversity of the things, what will be the effect to the livestock, what will be the effect to the agriculture. So many things will come, because this airborne, as we saw that airborne, I have already written airborne water droplets, which was previously highlighted as the main drop is shown in that my schematic scheme. It is showing the transmission, whatever it is going day by day, and where it will end also we don't know. So of course, for to eradicate all these things, we need to think something for this particular pollution treatment. From IICT, we have been working from membrane lab, and with decade of experience, we recommend that ultrafiltration, a polymeric membrane, which can be also taken for the treatment of this particular viral load of the water. And the technology, or this membrane technology, which will also help in taking, this is actually a small pressure driven process which separates out the viral size. It has the pore size of the ultrafiltration membrane pore diameter ranges from 0.1 micron to 0.001 micron, which is micrometer, which is enough to remove the viral load and all other suspended particles from the water. So we recommended this particular technology, which can be taken up if we will put it this is the things how it actually, this slide will give you a little bit of knowledge how my technology will work. I have just given based on the pore size of the particles removal. Then we have also the same thing, the facility, it will work based on the power. If the area is not having no power, even though it will work, that where we have recently worked in other disaster management, particularly 2018, there was a heavy flood in Kerala, Karnataka and all. You must be aware of all these things. The same technology we have used without pump, without power, that is hand pump operated ultrafiltration system to remove this type of water, bacterial load water, the high bacterial load with high turbidity. So these are the, apart of that, we do also have other technology like MBR followed by ultrafiltration technology, which will be quite effective. So IICT is working tremendously in this line, how our river water can be treated and we can get a rejuvenated water. Apart of that, as I was talking about COVID, and water is a scarcity. So IICT also working on water scarcity and its mitigation. I think people, this audience must be aware about, recently we have at Marathwada near Latur, there was a lot of water scarcity were there. From miles distance, people were going, women were going to collect the water for their need purpose. Then Simla, there was a huge scarcity of water because of heavy cold snowfall and all. It was there in press and all last 2 years back. And in desert, coastal area, so our one new technology, air water generator, where in this technology we used to take water from the moisture from the air and get pure drinking water with rich in mineral things and all. So during this COVID time, IICT also worked in this. Instead of disturbing the water bodies and all, we have used this technology and served our COVID warriors and so many people. This is just to give a glimpse of idea what IICT is also working. This much only I would like to say. And before I conclude, I will say that some of the recommendations that from this COVID-19, this period, actually it has given lot of negative impact. But some lessons also we have. It is giving that we cannot leave anything just like that. We have to take some actions. We have to take care of the things. We have to get back to the things by taking utmost care. So we all need to ensure that rivers not only continue to be a source of water for all, but it also remains a cradle for a source of all aquatic lives. So there is an urgent need to the dumping of all these things. Recently, my previous speaker was telling we should take actions for this dumping things. So some strict vigilance actives there, some surveillance should be there. So those measures has to be taken by the government, by the policymakers, by the river bank communities who play a very essential role for river governance, and then experts. They also play a vital role for river rejuvenations. Apart of all, I will never leave that last and the least, women need to be listened, because they are the key who also collect and store water. So they also prime role. They have a prime. Their suggestion will also help in how to while collecting, because they can give some suggestions and all. So I can talk this much of this to dear audience of this important webinar. And before that, I would like to acknowledge this is my membrane team from IACT, who is continuously working through membrane-based solutions for water treatment. And of course, Vicky, Dr. Manasi, who is the Vice President of this Water Resource Council. I thank you a lot. A part of that, my council member of Telangana State WRC. And lastly, for funding, I'll be giving thanks to DSTW. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sahu. It was indeed one wonderful presentation. You shared many interesting different facets of how technology can come to the rescue of the current situation. Chandrasekhar sir will get back to the discussion.
Okay.
After this,
Okay.
we'll go for our next speaker, Swami. Swamiji, it's Swamiji here.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Yes, I'm.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes. It is. All are listening. My voice is coming.
We are hearing you, स्वामी जी. आप and आपको जो भी लैंग्वेज में सूट करे आप उस पे बोलिए. स्वामी जी प्रणाम. और अगर अपना वीडियो खोल सकते हैं तो प्लीज वो भी अगर पॉसिबल है तो.
You. Cool. Yes. Yes. Hello. Okay. Yes. हाँ, हम हिंदी में बोले ना.
हाँ स्वामी जी.
आवाज आ रही है.
स्वामी जी आपको जिसमें कंफर्टेबल लगे आप उसमें बोलिए.
ठीक है, तुम हिंदी में बोलो. तो समझेंगे नहीं तो अंग्रेजी बोलो. फॉलो.
आपकी आवाज आ रही है, प्लीज बोलिए.
हाँ बोलिए.
आज गंगा सप्तमी है. ये कहा जाता है कि आज ही के दिन गंगा का अवतरण पृथ्वी पर हुआ था. और हम सब जानते हैं, गंगा की महत्ता को जानते हैं. पूरे उत्तर भारत की जीवनदायिनी गंगा है. पूरे भारत में गंगा के प्रति एक धार्मिक और आध्यात्मिक आस्था है. और इतना ही नहीं, इसके वैज्ञानिक पहलू भी सबको ज्ञात है. ऐसी विकट स्थिति में आज जो पॉलिसी मेकर हैं, वो जिस हिसाब से गंगा को ही नष्ट करने पर फिर गए हैं, वह बहुत सोचने का विषय है. अब आप देखिए कि प्रत्येक का आज कोविड से वही उभर रहा है जिसका इम्यून सिस्टम मजबूत है। तो जैसे मनुष्य का इम्यून सिस्टम मजबूत होने पर बाहरी आक्रमण को रोक सकता है, वैसे गंगा का भी अपना इम्यून सिस्टम है, कि वैज्ञानिक बैक्टीरियोफाज के रूप में कहते हैं, और बहुत सा चीज होगा जो वैज्ञानिक को पता नहीं होगा। लेकिन किसी भी नदी की जो महत्ता है वह उसके प्रवाह पर है, और प्रवाह को ही यदि रोक दिया जाए, जैसे हमारे शरीर में ब्लड सर्कुलेशन को रोक दिया जाता है तो जीवन मुश्किल हो जाता है, वैसे अभी गंगा मृत प्राय है। तो गंगा जो मृत प्राय है उसका मुख्य कारण हमारे पॉलिसी मेकर हैं। आप लोग शिवानंद जी का नाम जानते होंगे। शिवानंद जी इसी बात, वो वैज्ञानिक भी थे, एक सन्यासी भी थे, तो एक ऐसे व्यक्तित्व थे जो विज्ञान और धर्म को एकीभूत करके सर्वांगीण रूप में दिखते थे। जैसे वैज्ञानिक है, वैज्ञानिक अपना केवल वैज्ञानिक रूप में ही देखते हैं, धार्मिक लोग हैं वो केवल धर्म के रूप में ही देखते हैं, लेकिन जो विज्ञान और धर्म का दोनों का एक सामंजस्य बिंदु से देखता है उसकी वाणी पर विश्वास करना चाहिए और उसी से कल्याण होगा। और उन्होंने यह स्पष्ट तौर पर कहा था कि यदि गंगा को बांध देंगे तो गंगा अपनी महत्ता खो देगी, और आज उत्तराखंड में गंगा को बांध दिया गया। इतना ही नहीं, लोग धर्म की बात मानते नहीं है। धर्म सबकी अलग अलग भाषा होती है, धर्म की भी भाषा है। कहा जाता है कि यह हरिद्वार के बारे में कहा गया विशांक पर गंगा द्वारे महाभाग ये लोक स्थिर भवी। जब गंगा जी आई थी तो ये पृथ्वी पर आई थी, उनका वेग इतना था कि
I think we have lost connection, huh, Bibhu?
Yeah, we lost the connection.
I think we have lost connection, Bibhu, huh?
Yes, yes, we lost the connection.
I will communicate with Atma Bodhan ji and you can continue, okay?
Yes, yes.
Sure. Bibhu, you may take up Ankit, and I will. I'm connecting with the
Yes.
office there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I think maybe we'll resume his talk after he comes back.
हम बद्रीनाथ में हैं, यहाँ नेटवर्क बहुत कमजोर है, इसलिए देखते हुए इसे ओढ़े हुए बारिश हो रही है।
ठीक है।
प्रश्न यहाँ पर ये है कि इस हिसाब से गंगा को नष्ट किया जा रहा है। आज देखिए, आज ऑक्सीजन की कमी हो गई है, सबको ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिल रहा है। अब दो तीन बातों को यहाँ ध्यान देना चाहिए कि बहुत सी ऐसी बातें होती हैं जो सूक्ष्म होती हैं और विज्ञान उसे धीरे धीरे डेवलप करता है। इसलिए वैज्ञानिकों को पौराणिक मान्यताएं जो बराबर से चली आ रही है, सूक्ष्म मान्यताओं को भी महत्व देना चाहिए। अब पूरे हिमालय में जो देवदार के पेड़ थे, नाम इनका है देवदार, देवताओं के वृक्ष, तो देवदार के पेड़ को, सैकड़ों साल पुराने देवदार के पेड़ को काट दिया गया। जो कोविड का असर उत्तराखंड में कम होता था, जब भी कभी किसी को इस ढंग की बीमारियां होती थी तो उत्तराखंड आकर के रहता था तो बीमारी स्वतः ठीक हो जाती थी। गंगा किनारे बहुत सी बीमारी स्वतः ठीक हो जाती थी। वो आज पूरे उत्तराखंड में पुराने देवदार के पेड़ को काट दिया गया। आज उत्तराखंड एक हॉट स्पॉट में है, जहां पर कि लोग कहते हैं ऑक्सीजन की भी कमी नहीं है, वायुमंडल भी शुद्ध है। तो सूक्ष्म रूप से जो देवदार के पेड़ अपनी सूक्ष्म प्रभा से वातावरण को एक सूक्ष्मता प्रदान किए हुए थे, जिसका प्रभाव दैनिक जीवन पर भी पड़ता था, वो नष्ट हो गया। तो अब इन बातों को आप लोग जानते हैं, 60 से ऊपर हमारे आश्रम में हम लोग तपस्या कर चुके हैं, और इस तपस्या का भी कोई प्रभाव जनमानस पर नहीं पड़ रहा है। सरकार ऐसी है कि लिखित बातों से मुकर जा रही है। तो ऐसे परिस्थिति में हम लोगों का क्या कर्तव्य होता है? हम लोग साधु हैं, आप लोग बुद्धिजीवी हैं, तो एक है, जरूर कोई एक सर्वांगीण सोच होनी चाहिए जो सरकार को बाध्य करे। और खास करके मैं MOEF, NCC और CPCB के वैज्ञानिकों को ये चेतावनी देना चाहता हूं कि भारतवर्ष की जो दुर्दशा है उसमें CPCB और MOEF के वैज्ञानिकों का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। वो लोग एयर कंडीशन कमरे में रहते हैं, व्यवहारिकता का उन्हें बिल्कुल ज्ञान नहीं है। गंगा पर फैसला करते हैं और गंगा किनारे रात में एक दिन भी वह नहीं रहे, पूरे दिन। तो यह जो हमारे वैज्ञानिकों की एक दुर्दशा हो गई है, इन पर हमें आवाज उठानी चाहिए। मैं तो लिखित में दे दिया हूं, ओरली बोल रहा हूं कि CPCB और MOEF NCC के जो वैज्ञानिक हैं वो हमारे देश की विभीषिका का एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है। MNCG बना है और हमारे पास अनेक रिकॉर्ड हैं कि MNCG ने गंगा पर जिस चीज के लिए रोक लगाया, MOEF ने उसे तोड़ा है। हमारे पास लिखित प्रमाण है। तो इन बातों को भी हम लोगों को ध्यान देना होगा कि ऐसे वैज्ञानिक को ललकार करके टेबल पर लाना होगा और उन्हें कहना होगा कि तुमने ये किया तो कहां से किया। एयर कंडीशन में बैठ करके तुम पर्यावरण को समझेगा, एयर कंडीशन में बैठ के तुम गंगा और नदियों को समझेगा, एयर कंडीशन में बैठ करके तुम व्यवहारिक बात को समझेगा। इन बातों को हमें ध्यान रखना होगा। ये सब व्यवहारिक बातें हैं। हमारी साधु है, हमारी वाणी थोड़ी रूखा होता है लेकिन सत्य होता है। तो अभी हम लोग इस बात का बिल्कुल करें, इन वैज्ञानिकों को चैलेंज करें कि तुम लोग कृपया हमारी जो पौराणिक मान्यताएं हैं उस हिसाब से नदी को छोड़ दो, नदी को छोड़ दो। उसमें कुछ धार्मिक प्रतिबंधियां भी जरूरी है, क्योंकि आजकल धर्म भी अंधविश्वास में चला गया है, उसको भी दूर करना होगा। और हमारी जो पौराणिक बात है उसे हम लोग अमल करें, और जिससे कि ये काम हो। और यदि हम लोग इसमें कुछ एक छोटा सा ग्रुप, एक 100 और 1000 का भी एक ऐसा ग्रुप तैयार हो जाए जो इंटेलेक्चुअल से भरे रहे, जो धार्मिक भावना से भरे रहे, जो आंतरिक धर्म क्या है हमारा, जो
I think we lost him again.
हाँ, तो ठीक है। तो इस तरह से हम ज्यादा समय नहीं लेना चाहते हैं, नेटवर्क का ये है। तो हम लोग इस बात को करें और एक 100 या 1000 का इंटेलेक्चुअल ग्रुप तैयार करें, तो कोई भी सामना करें। इसके लिए सरकार को भी बात करेंगे, वैज्ञानिकों को भी बात करेंगे, ये जो पाखंडी धार्मिक लोग हैं उनको भी बात करेंगे, और इस तरह से कल्याण होगा। ये हमारी हमारी वाणी में थोड़ी ये था, इसलिए हम क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ। सबको धन्यवाद।
स्वामी जी रुकिएगा, हाँ सवाल है आपके लिए बहुत।
हम बताइए, अंग्रेजी में ही पूछ सकते हैं, कोई बात नहीं।
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। बिभू
बहुत
प्लीज।
बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद स्वामी जी, बहुत अच्छा बात कहे आपने ये सब के बारे में। और विस्तार में
जिनको जो सवाल पूछना हो, आई एम रेडी टू आंसर।
Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes. So then we move to our discussant. Is Aniket? Are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, Aniket.
So it was very nice hearing all the three panelists, where all the three panelists have spoken on different issues pertaining to river governance, and also with respect to how what are the different aspects that is triggering it or are influencing it. So just to summarize the discussion a little bit, so Dr. Anand, ma'am, Dr. Nivedita and Swamiji, all three of them have spoken intrinsically about the importance of rivers, and in particularly the importance of river Ganga in our life. and have spoken the fact that there are so many studies which is coming across, which does tell us that how COVID-19 can also be spread through the water bodies, to which Dr. Nivedita spoke at length, and she has given us the scientific reasons behind it. And it was very interesting to see that there is an solution towards curbing this spread of COVID, this virus through this water bodies, as mentioned by ma'am. That is ultrafiltration usage. That is a type of polymer membrane which can be taken, and can be used in the treatment plants, and so that the spread of the viruses can be reduced. And also, it was very interesting to see what are the different, issues because of which we have seen these, or we are hearing these cases of dumping of dead bodies in, in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar regions. So there, some of them are related to monetary issues, some of them are associated with culture, and also how Dr. Anand spoke about the different methods that can be adopted, as substitutes of the cremation or the last, funeral process that we undergo. And particularly what Swamiji said was something that was very interesting, that where he came very strongly, and he criticized the policymakers or the formulated policies that are in place. And one of the most essential aspects that he spoke was how there's a need of an amalgamation of scientific knowledge. Along with that, he spoke about religion, or if we understand it in a different way, the integration of scientific knowledge, and with that the traditional knowledge, and how important it is for the governance of different resources. And here we are talking particularly about river. So thank you very much to all the three panelists. Actually, I have questions for three of them. So to begin with, Dr. Anand, as you were talking about the different solutions, different alternatives that can be taken as cremation processes. So, my question to you is that given the fact that we know that, Ganga in particularly has so much of cultural importance, as also spoken by Swamiji. So, how do we persuade the local communities who are so, religiously inclined to not go for something like, dumping the bodies in the river, and to take up the other form of cremations as suggested by you? How the perception of people can be changed in this aspect? And for Dr. Nivedita, my question is that given the solution that you have proposed, how are you trying, how are you attempting to flag it to the government? And if you have done it, what is the response that you have got? Or even if today the government decides to take up this alternative, what are the challenges that are associated with it? How successful it will be? Because if we talk only about Ganga, it's a huge basin, and it's one of the biggest rivers in India. So challenging or implementing this would have its own challenges, so to say. और स्वामी जी, आपके लिए भी मेरे पास एक सवाल है, जहां आपने एक बात बोला कि आज मतलब जो धर्म है वो हमारे लिए बहुत ज्यादा अंधविश्वास हो जा रहा है। तो आपके हिसाब से क्या लगता है कि ये अंधविश्वास ही है, जहां हम लोग बोलते हैं कि नहीं चलो मतलब अपने जितने पाप है हम लोग गंगा में एक डुबकी लगा लेते हैं तो वो पाप धुल जाएगी, या फिर हम लोग मतलब हमारी जो अस्थियां होती है वो गंगा में बहाने से हमें स्वर्ग की प्राप्ति होती है? तो क्या यही वो मतलब
नहीं, ये नहीं है। अब देखिए, हमारा जो शरीर है, हमारा जो स्थिति है, वो 3 स्टेज में है। एक आध्यात्मिक स्टेज में है, एक आज भौतिक स्टेज में है, और एक है आज दैविक स्टेज में। अब मैं तीनों को स्पष्ट कर दूं यहाँ पर। आज भौतिक स्टेज में हम गंगा के फिजिकल फॉर्म को देखते हैं, आज दैविक स्टेज में यदि आप गंगा के पवित्र जल में स्नान करेंगे तो मन पर प्रभाव पड़ेगा। जैसे आप यदि अब्दुल कलाम का जीवन पढ़े होंगे जो लिखे हैं ऑटोबायोग्राफी, तो उसमें देखे हैं कि जब वो बहुत हताश हो गए थे, जब उनको देहरादून में मिलिट्री में नहीं हुआ था, तो वहां जाकर के ऋषिकेश में जब गंगा जी में स्नान की तो उनकी मानसिक शांति जबरदस्त हुई। तो ये आज दैविक स्टेज में भी गंगा की महत्ता है। और तीसरी बात, यदि हम लोग साधु ध्यान इत्यादि करते हैं तो वह स्पष्ट देखते हैं कि गंगा की जब पवित्रता रहती है तो उनके किनारे बैठ करके मन स्वतः एक अपने आत्मा की ओर प्रविष्ट होता है। ये आध्यात्मिक आध्यात्मिक रूप है। लेकिन आजकल लोगों को ये जो हो गया है, हम जीवन में पाप करें, अत्याचार, अनाचार, दुराचार, व्यभिचार सब करें और गंगा में आकर के स्नान कर लेंगे, हमारा सब पाप धुल जाएगा, ये अंधविश्वास है। हम अपने अनैतिक जीवन बितावे और प्रवचन करने के लिए आएंगे और त्याग तपस्या की बात न करके, क्योंकि त्याग तपस्या की बात करेंगे नहीं, क्योंकि त्याग तपस्या तो उनमें रहता नहीं है, तो कहेंगे कि ऐसे भगवान को ऐसी आरती कर दो, ऐसी गंगा की तो आरती करेंगे और गंगा की स्वच्छता का, गंगा पर को वही मैला करेंगे, ये अंधविश्वास है। तो हमारे समाज और आजकल देखते हैं बहुत से कथावाचक हैं, हजार हजार कथाएं करते हैं और नो उनमें सुधार हो पाता है, नो सुनने वाले में सुधार हो पाता है। तो यह जो का जैसे राम के जीवन को का जो मूल तत्व है उसे न ग्रहण करके और कोई राम राम कहते रहो तो सब कुछ हो जाएगा, ये अंधविश्वास है। तो हमारा अंधविश्वास और धर्म का एक क्लियर कट डेफिनेशन है। तो इस क्लियर कट हम दोनों को मानते हैं, लेकिन अंधविश्वास जो है वो आज बहुत ज्यादा फैल गया है और जिसका परिणाम ये हुआ है कि धर्म को लोग सीधा उठा के फेंक देता है। लेकिन आप अपने शरीर में देखिए, आपका शरीर के लिए तीनों जरूरी है, आपका शरीर भी स्वस्थ रहे, मन भी स्वस्थ रहे, बुद्धि भी स्वस्थ रहे और परम शांत को भी पावे। क्योंकि सब तो शांत के लिए सबको हम काम कर, हम जितना काम कर रहे हैं आनंद और शांत के लिए तो कर रहे हैं, वो हमारा आध्यात्मिक पहलू है। और हमारा मन पवित्र रहे, हमारी बुद्धि स्वस्थता को पावे, ये हमारा आध्यात्मिक पहलू है। और हम स्वस्थ रहे, हमें कोई बीमारी न हो, ये हमारा आध्यात्मिक पहलू है। जब तक आप तीनों में से तीनों पहलू को ठीक नहीं करेंगे, हम बीमार हैं तो हमारा मन स्वतः खराब होगा, हम स्वतः आनंद में नहीं रहेंगे, या हम शरीर स्वस्थ भी है, मन यदि हमारा ये है तो भी हम ये। तो इस ढंग के तीनों काम में यही सामंजस्य कहता हूँ कि वैज्ञानिक पहलू को भी लिया जाए, धार्मिक पहलू हुआ जो सामाजिक रीति रिवाज जो पौराणिक काल से चली आ रही है, और आध्यात्मिक पहलू हुआ जो ऋषि मुनि इत्यादि का जो गंगा के प्रति निवेशन है उसको। तो हमारा ये मतलब है।
धन्यवाद। And if the other two panelists can, throw some light on the questions that has been raised.
Yes, Dr. Nivedita, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to answer the questions raised recently regarding that ultrafiltration membrane technology. What you have questioned, it has been successfully implemented. I have already shown in the slide that in Kerala floods and Karnataka floods, we have worked very effectively, and actually not only effectively, in correct time at the need of the hours, we solved the serve the people by using this technology. And the same thing also we have also worked in recent flood disaster when it happened at Odisha and Bihar and West Bengal. So we are quite strong enough and very confident enough for this technology to be recommended for the river water policy. Coming to you, say when you say that Ganga is of course it's a lifeline, it's the longest river of the country. Okay, it is not only having one state, it is crossing so many states from Himalayas. It is coming to the Bay of Bengal. So in between, the state also have major role. The district government, all it's a teamwork. It's not an individual. So many people will come together. Not only just scientists, together if we think we can do it. That's my thought. If it is not, what I am telling, this COVID is also teaching so many things in this particular time. This crisis time, we are thinking, we are taking the lessons for togetherness, for team buildings, for supporting each other. And as Swamiji right now, he suggested, we should actually give more and more importance to our logical, whatever the mythology is there, science behind the mythology. We should not go to the superstitious. हमको अंधविश्वास में नहीं रखना है, लॉजिकली दिखना है. हाँ, हम बीमार पड़ेंगे, बीमार को दवा की जरूरत है, रिवर को गंदा करने से बीमार होगा. We have to take some measures of that. Otherwise, taken for granted, it will be like that. Talking and making is not, we have to do, action is important. So what through my presentation, I thought there is a solutions, but at the same time, we all public, we all society, riverbank communities, all should come together to fight this issue. It's not only question of Ganga. There are so many rivers in our entire country. Actually, other tours like Godavari, Krishna, Narmada, so many. Most of the rivers are facing the same. Today COVID has came, but COVID apart, before that we ourselves, we were the culprit. हम खुद ही कर रहे थे. Cremation is the today issue, but before that industrial pollutants were the issues. For our own benefit, for our growth, we were, for industrial urbanizations, for our own luxury, we were polluting, we are targeting river bodies. We are simply just putting, and like human beings are very selfish, I can say. We are blaming each other. We always love in that. Arey, usne aisa kiya, वैसा. But through in this process, we are ourselves actually contributing all these things and polluting rivers. So we have to take serious measures, serious actions that should be taken together. And if we come all together, public, government, teachers, educational, young generations, our scholars, our sadhus, our swamis, everybody, if we come together, the problem has definitely. That's fine. Thank you.
Dr. Anand.
Yes, Aniket, जो अंत्येष्टि की बात आ रही है, उसमें मेरा ये विचार है कि इसमें मास अवेयरनेस की आवश्यकता है. मास अवेयरनेस में सिंपल सा एग्जांपल आपको बिहार के दरभंगा जिला का दे रहा हूँ, जहाँ पे कि लकड़ी की कमी थी और समुदाय में ये जागरूकता फैलाया गया कि चूंकि अंत्येष्टि होना है, शरीर का अंत्योगत्वा वही गति है, अंत्योगत्वा उसको अग्नि में ही समाहित होना है. तो माध्यम कुछ भी हो, चाहे लकड़ी हो, चाहे गाय का गोबर हो, या चाहे विद्युत शवदाह हो, अंतोगत्वा वही अग्नि में ही समाहित होना है. तो वो अवेयरनेस की कमी है. तो वो दरभंगा जिला का मैं ये एग्जांपल दे रहा था कि चूंकि वहाँ लकड़ी की कमी थी, तो समुदाय इस बात को समझा और लोकली वहाँ पे ये काफी पॉपुलर हुआ है कि लोग गाय का गोबर को यूज कर रहे हैं, साथ में हस को यूज कर रहे हैं, जो भूसा होता है उसको यूज कर रहे हैं, लकड़ी को भी यूज कर रहे हैं, लेकिन बहुत सीमित मात्रा में. तो इससे दो चीज उभर करके आई है. तो एक कि लकड़ी का काफी यूजेस कम हो गया अंत्येष्टि में. जो अदर सोर्सेस हैं, कपूर हुआ, गाय का गोठा हुआ, हस्क हुआ, बैम्बू हुआ, लोकल जो प्रोड्यूस है, उन सब चीजों को अगर हम यूज कर रहे हैं तो वो काफी जंगलों को भी बचा रहा है, हमारे ट्रीज को भी प्रोटेक्ट कर रहा है, और फिर हमारा जो अल्टीमेट एंड है अंत्येष्टि करना, वो भी श्रद्धापूर्वक हो रहा है. एक और बात जो मैं यहाँ कहना चाहूँगा, हाईलाइट करना चाहूँगा, वो है कि नमामि गंगे प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर गवर्नमेंट का एक बहुत बड़ा सा स्कीम था, जिसमें कि विद्युत शवदाह बनाना था काफी बड़ी संख्या में. जो एग्जिस्टिंग विद्युत शवदाह थे, इलेक्ट्रिक सेमिटोरियम था, क्रिमिनेशन था, उनको भी वो ये करना था, ठीक करना था. लेकिन अब तक कतिपय कारणों से केंद्र सरकार राज्य सरकार को पैसा दी, फिर राज्य सरकार के पास पैसा पड़ा रहा, और कतिपय कारणों से वो विद्युत शवदाह जो है वो नहीं हो पाया. जैसे मैं पटना की बात कर रहा हूँ, एवरेज यहाँ पर 300 शव जल रहे थे. तो 300 शव जो जल रहे थे, तो उसमें करीब 100 शव ऐसे थे जो कि विद्युत शवदाह के बाहर लाइन लगाए हुए थे, लेकिन वो लाइन इतना लंबा था, सिर्फ एक ही विद्युत शवदाह है, और इतना बड़ा प्रेशर कि लोगों को 10-10 घंटा 7-7 घंटा वेट करना पड़ रहा था. तो ऐसी स्थिति में वो लोग क्या कर सकते थे, जिनके पास पैसा नहीं था, जो मजबूर थे, जो उतना देर वेट नहीं कर सकते थे, सिचुएशन वनरेबल था, ज्यादा देर वो बैठ नहीं सकते थे. तो ऐसे स्थिति में जो आम जन था, जो गरीब था, वो गंगा में सबको प्रभावित किया, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. ऐसा कुछ पटना में भी ऐसी घटनाएं हुई, खासकर देहात में तो जो हो रहा है वो तो लोग देख ही रहे हैं गाँव देहात में। तो इसमें मेरा सुझाव यही होगा, चूंकि ये धर्म से जुड़ा हुआ बात है, तो हमारे जो साधु संत के समाज है, खासकर स्वामी शिवानंद स्वामी महाराज जी का जो संस्था हो, या फिर और भी बहुत सारे जो 10 नामी अखाड़ा है, जो अखाड़ा अभी भी जागृत है हमारे गांव में, जो 10 नामी अखाड़ा अभी भी जागृत है, साधु संत हमारे गांव में आज भी हैं और आज भी उनका वही इज्जत है, लोग उनकी बात सुनते हैं। तो ये समुदाय में जाकर के जब तक ये अवेयरनेस नहीं होगा कि अंत्येष्टि की जो बात है उसमें लकड़ी ही प्राथमिकता नहीं रखता है, कोई अन्य आधार भी हो सकता है अंत्येष्टि का, तब तक इसमें चेंजेस नहीं आएगा। तो समुदाय स्तर पर जागरूकता हो, साधु संत जाके लोगों के बीच में इसका प्रचार प्रसार करें, समुदाय के बीच में साधु लोग जाएं, तब जाके जो रिवर की महत्ता है, अंत्येष्टि का जो अल्टरनेट साधन है, इन सब चीजों के बीच बारे में लोगों को पता चलेगा और हम अपने नदियों को सुरक्षित रख पाएंगे। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू अनिकेत।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. We have I think a few of our participants, they have raised questions. Chandrasekhar sir, yes sir, please unmute, please
hello.
Unmute. Yes,
in fact it's a very useful and meaningful session, and the panelists have spoken quite the actual facts about the Ganga river and others also. And of course, my question is, Dr. Nivedita, with this air water generators, madam, if you mentioned air water generators.
Yes.
What is the cost of it, or can about the air water generators?
Yeah, that is actually a costly unit. But if you talk about community, like bigger community, it can be implemented. It costs around 1 unit around 30 lakhs.
One unit 30 lakhs.
Yeah. But like we recommend not to the in a portable type of things. It is not suitable for a small or scale. But like army, we used to recommend it. Navy, when they go in, the team goes for months together, they will be in sailing.
I see. I understand.
So it's like it is where it is, and very essential where large community is facing water problem. There, this is highly recommended. We also has been used in Africa countries and all. So like that. But,
one more question.
Yes.
This ultrafiltration polymer membrane.
Yes.
Technology, can it be used in the local governments for the supply of the pure clean water?
For potable drinking water, it depends on the type of the water quality. I think everywhere this membrane is not required. Whatever that you are getting from the municipal and all, it has to be checked. The water TDS is more important. It should be it should be 200. Okay. mg within 500. Now BIS has increased. So if TDS is below 500, whatever is good. Only you need to check it out because of the pipeline disruptions and all, the bacterial and all those things. That part can be taken up by using UV, ozone, those type of things. But of course, the membrane technology, ultrafiltration or nanofiltration or RO, we recommend where the water is really needed to be purified in fluoride contaminated region, in heavy other arsenic area, in iron rich area, where people are getting more affected, kidney failures, fluorosis, dental fluorosis, bone weakness, those things they are facing. So to avoid particularly to remove those type of things, heavy metal contaminations and all, we recommend RO, and different membrane technology can be taken up. And of course, as you say rightly, we can use nicely in a portable as well as pilot scale and large scale also.
And one more thing, the households, the water supply.
Hello. I am Mrs. Page from Pune. I would like to raise a question. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Let me complete.
Hello.
This RO water technology.
Yes.
Particularly, even if the water is very soft water, then the RO technology is not required.
Yes.
But unfortunately, now there is a fashion. We have a RO filter, water filters like that.
That's what awareness is required.
The RO water is strictly not a good water for the life. Yes. I understand, because it is a divide of all minerals.
Yes.
So if you take RO water, we have to add once again minerals.
Yes.
Yes. So I think we'll continue with this. I think we'll have other opportunities to talk about this specific issue. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I think we have Ms. Usa Prabha, who also wants to ask question. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
I have a question: whether solar energy can be utilized for cremation? That's my question.
Okay. Dr. Anand, Dr. Nivedita, who would like to answer this question? Can solar energy be
solar energy? Of course we can, but right now the technology is not there, and we are not in that much stage, particularly at this point of time when a lot of emotional things are going on, and people, that technology, I think it is not there. But of course, solar treatment is also there. If the energy can be captured, it can be used for this cremation. There is lot of options are there.
Okay, thank you. Yes, is there any questions from?
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Any other participants? If any question for any of our panelists? Okay, thank you. I think several of our participants have sent several questions. I think most of them were addressed in the course of the discussion, and some of the questions were also already raised by our discussant. The one if Swamiji is here, there is a question for Swamiji. How can we bring all these different, like Swamiji आपने बोला है कि जो साइंटिस्ट है, जो सरकार है, स्टेट का, सेंटर का, उनको अलग अलग सोचते हैं, तो उनको कैसे फिर हम साथ में लाएं और ये जो गंगा या फिर कोई भी रिवर का जो कंजर्वेशन है उसको कैसे हम सक्सेसफुल करें?
ये एक प्रश्न है, क्योंकि अभी जो नदी की समस्याएं हैं, वो नदी की समस्याओं में हमारे नजर में सबसे बड़ी समस्या वहाँ के MOEF और CPCB के जो वैज्ञानिक हैं वो है। वो जनरल वैज्ञानिकों के साथ आते नहीं है, और चूंकि वो सरकारी नौकरी पा ली है, अब उनको पढ़ना नहीं है, अब उनको दिन भर अपना काम करना है, आकर के ऑफिस अटेंड करके फाइल अटेंड करना है। ये हमारा देश का कल्चर हो गया है, इसे नकार नहीं सकते। इसमें कुछ ही व्यक्ति ऐसे हैं इस पर रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, तो इसको लाना होगा, और ये तभी होगा जब कुछ रिनोन्ड वैज्ञानिक उनके किसी पहलू पर सीधा चैलेंज कर दें और कह दें कि या तो तुम साबित करो या नहीं तो छोड़ो। सरकार को बाध्य करें कि इसको नौकरी से हटाओ। तो डिग्री लिया, जैसे तैसे नौकरी पा लिया, और एक ही वैज्ञानिक को आप उनको बताइए सरकारी नौकरी कर रहा हो, उसके बाद रिसर्च कर रहा हो। और हम लोग ऐसा सेमिनार करते हैं, इसमें एक से एक अच्छी बातें निकलती है। पहले क्या होता था, पहले जो इस टाइप के बुद्धिजीवियों का सेमिनार होता था, तो उनकी बातों को लेकर के लोग मनन करता था, सरकार भी इस पर सोचती थी। पेपर में जो कोई निकलता था, कोई लोग देते थे एडिटोरियल पेज पर, उसका भी मनन होता था। आज ये सब कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, इसलिए एक आंदोलन का रूप पकड़ना होगा इन वैज्ञानिकों को, क्योंकि आप लोग जो रिसर्च कर रहे हैं उनकी बातों को सुनता तक, देखता तक नहीं है, उनके पास समय नहीं है, और ये माफिया लोग उनसे डायरेक्ट अप्रोच कर दिए हैं और उनकी बात वो सबका सब ग्राह्य कर लेते हैं। तो इसके लिए एकजुट होना होगा, वो इंटेलेक्चुअल का होना होगा, वैज्ञानिकों का होना होगा, जो सही अर्थ में विज्ञान क्या है, प्रकृति की जो रहस्यमय वस्तुएं हैं, प्रकृति में सब है, उन्हें उजागर करना है तो विज्ञान का काम है, और उन्हें उजागर करके उन्हें दे कि तुम यहां पर गलती हो। इसके लिए हम लोग को एकजुट होना होगा, और ये जरूरी है। और तब सरकार को अब क्या होता है, मिनिस्टर ऐसा हो जाता है जिसको कुछ ज्ञान ही नहीं रहता है,
Yes.
I think the connection is lost.
Yes, connection is lost. I think
I have a one-line point, if you may
yes.
allow.
Yes, yes, please, Mansi. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks all the panelists. But Usha ji, to your question of solar cremation, I think that that whole discussion has to be completely different discussion. But there are examples from all over the world. So my line for today's discussion was that how do we convince everybody that we all live in the downstream? There is no upstream. This is something which has to come across to everybody, you know. कि ऐसा नहीं कि मेरे यहाँ से निकल गया पानी तो अब दूसरे यहाँ का पोल्यूट हो जाएगा. जो हम कर रहे हैं ऊपर अपस्ट्रीम में भी कोई ना कोई वही काम कर रहा है. Everybody in the downstream, it has to be the agenda of discussion every time in reverse. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
you.
हाँ स्वामी जी.
हाँ, तो हम ये कहना चाहते हैं कि इसके लिए आप लोगों में बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं रिसर्च करते हैं और सही अर्थ में रिसर्च कर रहे हैं. इन बातों को एकत्र करके आप लोग एक कमिटी टाइप का बनाइए और तब उसमें हम भी सहयोग देंगे. आप लोग उतने स्ट्रॉन्ग रूप में नहीं बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन हम तो साधु हैं, हमको तो किसी का भय नहीं है. तो आप लोग हमें ये करें कि मैं सीधा जाकर कुछ, लेकिन हम जो बोले उसके पीछे हमारे कुछ, जैसे शिवानंद जी थे, तो शिवानंद जी एक वैज्ञानिक आधार थे. तो ऐसे कुछ हम कोई बात को चैलेंज करेंगे और वैज्ञानिक रूप से प्रूव करने के लिए हमारे साथ जी कोई दल होगा तो हम सबको छिन-भिन कर देंगे. अच्छा, ये जरूरी है. और वैज्ञानिकों को जो रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, खास करके इसमें अपने आप को लगाए हुए हैं, उनकी बातों को नहीं सुना जा रहा है. इसका एक प्लेटफॉर्म तैयार करना होगा. उसमें हमको जहां तक आप कहेंगे, चाहे मोदी जी से भी संघर्ष करना होगा तो हमको उसका भी भय नहीं है. हमको ब्रह्मांड में किसी का भय नहीं है. भाई केवल एक ही बात है, हम असत्य में न रहें. तो इसलिए आप लोगों को ये अनुदय होगा, क्योंकि सत्य ही बड़ा होता है. हम उसमें सहायक है, आप लोग इसके लिए तैयार.
Thank you. I will be leaving. I would like to take permissions. Okay?
Yes.
I'll be leaving.
Thank you, Dr. Sahu. Yes, स्वामी जी. Yes, बहुत धन्यवाद स्वामी जी. आपने सही बोले कि हम सबको अकाउंटेबल करना पड़ेगा. वो सरकार हो या साइंटिस्ट हो, हम सबको अकाउंटेबल करना पड़ेगा. जो भी जो काम कर रहे हैं, अगर वो सही ढंग से करेंगे तो लाइक हम जो भी प्रॉब्लम है उसको रिजॉल्व किया जा सकता है. ठीक है, आज समय हो गया है. So we have to close. We have planned to meet at every Wednesdays. Please keep looking at our handle for all these updates. It will be only conversation on water all Wednesdays. Like we planned it alternative Wednesdays, but now to begin with, we are having our next session on next Wednesday, where we'll be talking on youth and water. I think that will be very interesting for many of our participants. We have Mr. Ranjan Panda as one of our speaker. Then we are also looking forward to having another panelist who worked with youths on river conservation. We'll be keeping it posted. Before we close the session, we would like to thank all our panelists. Swami Shivanand ji, who could find his time, and also in spite of this network challenges, he could be with us and answered all our queries. बहुत धन्यवाद स्वामी जी. हम आपका आभार व्यक्त करते हैं. And we also thank our speaker Dr. Anand, who agreed to speak on this with such a short notice, and he gave such wonderful insights. We also thank Dr. Nivedita Sahu, again agreed and also came up with a very informative presentation. We are also thankful to our young discussant, Mr. Aniket. In spite of his engagement with dissertation work, he could find time to be here. And we would like to thank all our participants and all our team members. And we also thankful to the IT team of Terry, who made this, who have been supporting, giving us this technical support, this online platform. Thank you all so much for being here. and we are looking forward to meet you again next Wednesday at 5 p.m. again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, presenters, for joining us today and enlightening us with your wisdom. Also, thank you all the participants for joining us and making the session interactive. Besides walking and talking water, worries and wisdoms collectively, we see this as a platform to cross-connect and expand our network and explore possible collaborations. We are also making notes to publish both scientific and non-scientific work. Here is a glimpse of some of our writings. You may reach us through email, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also look at our website www.w4w.in. We look forward to your suggestions and comments to make the series more meaningful and engaging. And meanwhile, we hope that you appreciate today's session. We represent Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Hyderabad, Terry School of Advanced Studies, New Delhi, Environmental Design Consultants, Ahmedabad, FluxGen Sustainable Technologies, Bangalore, Counterview, and we are supported by Wiki's Water Resources Council. We truly appreciate your support and encouragement in conducting this series, and we hope that you will stay tuned with us through our social media platforms and our website, and you will write to us at our email